Center core RP1 load is complete. NY RP.
Three first stage boosters.
Okay, and I'm good to run that now.
Listening in for the switch to internal power. Beautiful shot of the rocket, Falcon Heavy.
Spacecraft is on internal power.
There's the confirmation. The spacecraft is now on internal power. The Psyche spacecraft that you see there encapsulated between those two fairing halves.
Vehicle tanks are pressing for strongback retract.
So there we heard the team is pressing the strongback to get ready to retract the transporter erector, or strongback as you refer to it, away from the vehicle just prior to launch. We saw a shot there at the fairing, and that structure will move here in about 10 seconds as they retract that. Things are continuing to move pretty quickly here, Daryl, as the team preps for a T0.
Strongback retract has started.
So now let's take a view up at the top of the rocket where we can see the clamp arms. They will begin to release the rocket at just about the midsection of the rocket, midway up. And we're also waiting for the NLM pole, which is coming up in just a few seconds. A final check with the NASA launch manager, Tim Dunn, by launch director Mike Taylor of SpaceX.
LD, NLM, countdown net. LD. The NASA Psyche team is go for launch. Copy, go for launch.
Great news there. The spacecraft team is ready. NASA's launch team is ready.
LOX load is complete.
Yep, and there we heard a call out for a LOX load on one of the side boosters is complete as the team continues to fill the tanks and top them off, getting ready for launch. We should be hearing the other two side boosters finishing up along with stage
TY
2
LOX load
LOX
is
load complete. And there we heard the other side booster is complete with LOX load, Daryl.
These two side boosters, they'll be coming back today, so if you're here locally, you're going to get quite a show. Boosters 1064 and 1065 which have flown 3 previous missions, 2 DoD
Center core lock float is complete.
and 1 commercial mission. They'll be coming back about 7.5 minutes after liftoff. So look to the sky for that, especially that entry burn and landing burn. They'll make a sonic boom that you can't miss.
Yeah, absolutely. We are looking forward to those 2 boosters coming back. And as we talked earlier, that center core will be expendable. We'll use all the propellants for Psyche today. And if you look at the launch vehicle, one of the unique things about that center core being brand new and expendable is you'll notice there's no grid fins or landing legs on that. And that is done by purpose to make sure we get the complete performance out of that center core for that trajectory that Jarmaine talked about to allow Psyche to perform its mission.
Always good to save some mass when you're flying a rocket to space. And those 2 side boosters, NASA has eyes for them for the Europa Clipper mission.
We do. Actually, the side boosters will be used on a
Stage 2 lock float is complete.
Stage 2 lock load complete call out there. But that's those side boosters will be used on a Space Force mission later this year and or maybe early next year. And then we are looking to use those as our prime side boosters for the Europa Clipper mission in 2024.
And with that call out that stage 2 LOX is complete, the Falcon Heavy is now completely tanked with 2.8 million pounds of propellants. Getting into the final minutes of the countdown now, T-minus 1 minute and 37 seconds.
Gas launch closeouts.
So you heard there the ground gas closeouts, and see that burst of LOX coming off the side of the rocket there? That is emptying out the LOX line in the transporter erector or strongback. Getting down to the final minute now.
Falcon Heavy is in startup.
Good call out that the Falcon Heavy is in startup. Now we're going to get the go at T-minus 45 seconds.
Go for launch.
We are go for launch. All systems are go to send the Psyche spacecraft to deep space.
30 seconds. Fifteen seconds.
And here we go with the final seconds of launch. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Engine ignition. And liftoff. Liftoff of Falcon Heavy and Psyche on a mission to a metal asteroid in deep space to study the building blocks of our planet's inner space.
Vehicles pitching downrange.
M1D chamber pressure is nominal.
View there from the onboard camera on the booster. Beautiful shot there as it goes through the clouds.
Power and telemetry nominal.
Here we hear all the power telemetry and nominal. We're also looking at the data for all 27 engines.
Falcon is supersonic.
All chamber pressures look good, and Falcon is supersonic now.
Throttling down in preparation for max Q. A moment of peak mechanical stress on the rocket.
What will happen here
Max
is
Q.
the side boosters will be at full power, and the center core will be at a reduced power to go through max Q to reduce the pressures on the structure of the launch vehicle.
Coming up in 30 seconds. We'll start getting ready to have those boosters cut off.
is looking good, pitching downrange. All telemetry looks really good so far, Daryl. So we see a beautiful view of the Falcon Heavy and center core and side boosters there. Data is looking really good.
All 27 engines of the Falcon Heavy putting down 5.1 million pounds of thrust. Standing by now for booster engine cutoff for those side boosters. The center core booster will continue on.
Booster engine cutoff. Side booster separation confirmed.
Great shot there of the side boosters coming off the rocket.
MVAC engine chill has started.
And there we start the chill on stage 2 as we get ready for MECO on the center core. Stage 2 will continue chilling down, making sure the fuel and propellants are flowing through that MVAC, getting ready for ignition.
Those boosters will have 3 burns, 2 re-entry burns and 1 final landing burn before it comes back down at LZ1 and LZ2, landing zone 1 and 2 here at the Cape. Next up is main engine cutoff of that center booster. After that cuts off, there'll be a series of steps that will happen in close succession. Main engine cutoff. The center core stage will separate, and then we'll start the second stage burn, the first of 2 burns today.
There we see a shot inside the
shutdown.
That was a shutdown.
Looking
main
now
engine
inside
cutoff.
the booster. There you have MECO.
Stage separation confirmed.
And there it goes. You're looking at the second stage in front of you, lighting up its
MVAC
MVAC
ignition.
engine. Split screen now on your right-hand side.
Center core FTS is saved. Bermuda.
Calling out the communication stations. What a beautiful shot there, while we had it, of stage 2.
Daryl, we continue to look at the side boosters.
Bearing separation confirmed.
Boostback has been completed, and they're in extended coast right now.
And there go the fairings. Revealing Psyche to the atmosphere. You can see the fairing falling away back to Earth. SpaceX has their recovery vessel.
Vehicle is on a nominal trajectory.
Their recovery vessel, Bob, is out in the waters right now, looking to recover both of them. Getting a good burn now from the second stage. This lasts about 4 minutes. We are going out over the Atlantic Ocean, heading south towards southern Africa. On the right-hand side, you see the glowing engine of the stage 2. We've got 2 cameras there. On the left, we're tracking those boosters coming back down.
Yeah, we should see in about 20 seconds, we should see the booster entry burn, which is be the 1 engine on both side boosters.
Quite a clear image in space on the right-hand side. We've got clouds overhead on the left, but you can see at the center, we're tracking one of those boosters, also tracking the second stage, it looks like right there.
Yeah, all the data so far, telemetry is looking nominal. I see the telemetry chilling down the engines for that booster entry burn on the side boosters, starting up in the telemetry. Everything's looking nominal. The vehicle second stage is performing very well, and side boosters are coming back.
Boosters entry burn startup.
And there we just heard booster entry burn startup is happening. And seeing the entry burn getting ready to go on the side boosters.
Boosters entry burn shutdown.
And there we saw the booster entry burn on one and shut down. And there we see booster entry burn on the second side booster and shut down.
Next burn is the final landing burn. And for
PYNY FTS is saved.
And for folks who are in the area, you end up hearing that loud sonic boom, that thunderclap, just about the time they make landing.
Stage 2 is on a nominal trajectory.
You and I here at Hangar AE, just a couple of miles away from this landing zone, we certainly hear it and feel it.
Yep, and I see now that the side boosters are supersonic, transitioning to transonic.
And that's a shot of the booster through a thin layer of clouds.
We heard the call out for transonic. Landing burn has
Stage 2
started.
terminal guidance.
Here it comes.
I don't know, Daryl, but that sonic boom was great for us. I'm sure Jim is excited over there. There's the second one. I'm sure the host desk over there is feeling that really well.
Literally, our monitors were shaking as both those boosters broke the sound barrier.
And we just heard booster landing confirmed, as we see on the screen, both
And
back
back
landing
shutdown.
zone 1 and 2. Everything looks great. And then the call out for
Stage 2 FTS is safe.
Seco 1, stage 2 engine cutoff. So Daryl, this will put us into that 45-minute coast that you and Jarmaine were talking about, allowing us to do
Nominal
that
park
barbecue
orbit
roll.
insertion.
Absolutely, we're looking forward to that. And as you look at your screen there are the two side boosters on their landing pads, coming down more staggered than I'd seen them before, but nonetheless, perfect landings for them both. And now we will continue to track this right here, the second stage of the Falcon Heavy, along with the Psyche spacecraft right there looking forward. You can see the spacecraft on the right-hand side. It will be coasting now for about 45 minutes. And when we come back, we will bring you the moment of separation. In the meantime, we'll send it back to Megan and Jim at the host desk.
And if you're just joining us, welcome live to Kennedy Space Center in Florida, where we just saw a Falcon Heavy rocket launch off with Psyche, the spacecraft. Jim, speechless. Speechless. Actually, you weren't speechless during the launch because you were standing next to me, and he just kept on saying, "Go, baby, go!"
Oh, it was so powerful, so incredible. Just, the light, the sound, you felt it in your bones, just shaking us as this thing goes up.
I saw
What
the
a great-
range of emotions. Like, you were super excited, and then you got quiet. You got really quiet.
Well, there's a lot riding on this for the whole team, right? For all the
Yeah.
hundreds and thousands of people that have been involved with this. And it's just, what a great ride so far.
Yeah. How did
Yeah.
you feel also hearing and feeling those sonic
Yeah.
booms? I was kind of
Boom,
worried
boom.
because we saw it in the video, and we were like, are we going to feel it here? And all of a sudden, boom, boom.
Yeah.
boom,
That
boom.
was very exciting, very exciting. So, and it's just great job landing those boosters because we want to reuse them for Clipper next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say to the team? Again, as we just saw it lift off, you said all that hard work, all that time.
Yeah, no, this is just, it is a team effort, and, we're going to be collecting this data set and studying this planetary core for future generations, really.
Yeah.
It's going to be spectacular. Data, images, chemical data, magnet field data, gravity data, and really, we can't study the Earth's core any other way. So here's maybe how cores grow and what's happening inside our own planet.
Yeah. So
Effective
the
loss of
Psyche
signal,
mission is
Bermuda.
going to explore the metal-rich asteroid also named Psyche. And why don't we take a closer look at Psyche now? It was first discovered in 1852. We don't know exactly what the asteroid looks like, but scientists have combined radar and optical observations to generate this 3D model you're looking at right now. Shaped like a potato, at its widest length, it's 173 miles. That's about the same as driving from Houston to Austin, Texas. There's evidence of two crater-like depressions. It appears to have a significant amount of metal, and a day on Psyche lasts only about 4 Earth hours. So as Psyche's imaging lead, tell me, when can we expect the first photos?
We have to spend, once we complete the deployment, we have to spend many months just checking out the systems, propulsion system, communication system, computer system, everything, right? Communications. And part of that is checking out the instruments. So I think the magnetometer might get checked out first because they're trying to detect some of Earth's magnetic field before we get too far away. And then in the weeks after that, we'll be testing out the imagers, taking pictures of stars, calibrating the cameras, getting the geometric correction just right, and getting ready for our eventual flyby of Mars, where we'll get lots of more great pictures as we pass by Mars. And then, of course, we'll start seeing Psyche as we get close to the end of this decade in late 28, early 29. It'll go from that point of light that we can see in telescopes to its own little world.
Yeah, the fact that right now it's so far away, again, orbiting the Earth between Mars and Jupiter, 3 times farther from the sun than Earth is, to be able to study it now up close. That's amazing.
It's very exciting, right? Yeah.
And the fact that we're going so far out to learn more about our home planet, I think that's so fascinating.
It is, and I love the fact that, this is something we're going to share with the whole world, right? It's a point of light in the sky right now, but we're going to see it become a world as it gets bigger and bigger in the windshield as we get closer.
Perfect. Now, NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in California is managing this mission. I also hear you're managing a very excited crowd right there.
Thanks, Megan. Yes, back here at JPL, there was so much excitement, clapping, cheering, high fives, and just take a live look from inside Von Karman Auditorium. We invited friends and family to come here today and watch the launch together. They're taking some photos right now, and when the launch happened, the whole room started clapping and cheering, and they are wearing their Psyche gear there. So Psyche may be off the ground, but its twin is still here on Earth. It will support testing on the spacecraft's journey to a metal-rich asteroid. Psyche testbed engineer Joan Tubangbanwa joins us now to tell us about it. Thanks for joining us, Joan.
Thanks, Raquel.
So how would you describe Psyche's testing twin?
Yeah, that's a great question. Psyche's testing twin is called the testbed, and it is located at our spacecraft assembly facility here at JPL, which is the same place where we built the Psyche spacecraft. Now, the testbed isn't something that you can just get from the mattress store, nor does it look like the spacecraft or a mattress. In fact, it's hardware that stays here, and if you look at the picture, it's connected by these snake-like wires that is designed to have the same software that the spacecraft is running with, which is also called its brain.
Now, Joan, you are about to start your shift here in the mission support area. What will you be working on?
Yeah, it's a super exciting time right now. The testbed is closely following behind the Psyche spacecraft as it progresses through the launch procedure. My shift begins when we first communicate to the spacecraft since liftoff, and this is done through something called commands. Now, commands are directions that we give to the spacecraft, which we tell it what to do and what kind of information that we need from it. The room will be making sure that the spacecraft is in a safe state, while the testbeds are sending the same commands and simulating the same data that we would get from the spacecraft. If anyone in the team or in the room was curious about a specific command, we would first test it on the testbed to see that we get the expected response.
Lots of work ahead. Now, Joan, you're not saying goodbye just yet. Tell us what's next.
Yeah, so of course I'll be celebrating a successful launch with my family, who's actually in Von Karman Auditorium right now, came all the way from New Jersey. October is also a special month because it is Filipino American History Month, and I was born in the Philippines, and so we'll be putting on an event that highlights both Psyche and our Filipino American team members. And lastly, I'll be following Psyche's journey, making sure that our testbeds are operating alongside the spacecraft.
Joan, thank you so much. I'm glad you were able to celebrate with your family. Megan, back to you.
Filipino Joan. And we were happy to host JPL's director here at Kennedy for launch. She's with NASA's Jasmine Hopkins, and they had a great view of liftoff.
Thank you, Megan. That is right. The crowd was so excited here on the balcony to see that beautiful liftoff of the Psyche launch. We're honored to be joined by Lori Leshin, director of JPL. So, Lori, this is a coast-to-coast mission from JPL to Kennedy. How do you feel to be here for launch?
So thrilling, so exciting to see that rocket light. There's nothing like it, and you see it, and then you feel it, and then the emotions really start.
Exactly. That was the perfect description of what we just saw. And there are a lot of emotions attached to this for you. The team at JPL has been working on this for years. So what do you want to say to the team at JPL and your partners about today's launch?
I am so incredibly proud of our team.